Hi, everybody, and welcome to How to Use WORDWALL.net. This is a Grafton Public Schools session with Kristin. I have a quick overview for you, and then we will jump right in over to the website, and I'll show you how to do it step by step. There are many things to share. We're going to start with looking at all the different interactive games. You can take any bit of your content and turn it into a game that will just take you a few moments. So you're going to really love that. There are lots of interactive game templates, and I'll show them to you in just a moment. We're also going to talk about how to save and organize all your activities and games. There's a nice, easy way to do that within WORDWALL.net. There's also an amazing community of teachers who are willing to share. Every single thing on there is available for you. You just have to search it by a keyword such as foundations, addition, science, biology, whatever it is that you want to search for. Somebody has already created it. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can just grab their activity. You can use it as it is, or you can edit it. There are 3 different versions. One is free, and you will get 18 different types of games that you can create with that free version, or 34 different templates with the pro version. Also, it's important to note with the free version, you can only make 5 templates, although you can edit them. So it is definitely limiting, but it's very, very cheap and reasonable, and there's even a workaround to only have to pay for 1 month. So why do we want to turn our content into games, gamifying the way that we teach and the way that students learn? It's definitely good for the classroom, smartboard, where you can share the things on your Chromebooks, your iPads. But if you're in the remote situation, there's no doubt that this is the way to go. You won't have a plastic bin full of little activities that you've always done. You will just be able to replace those things with WordWall. You don't have to reinvent what you're teaching. It's the same curriculum. You're just taking your activities and within just a moment or two, changing it into a game rather than a hands-on worksheet. Why do we want to do that? There's tons of research on the benefits of gamification, but for sure we know that the kids are going to be more engaged. Their brains are going to be more open to learn. They're going to be willing to practice these things more often, especially if there are elements such as leaderboards and things like that. Instead of just doing the activity once sort of haphazardly on the rug in the classroom, they might be willing to do the activity 3, 4, or 5 times, depending on the student, so that they can get higher on the leaderboard or just because they're enjoying it. So gamification, you can do more reading if you're curious about that, but just suffice it to say, it's much more engaging. So interactive games on WordWall, I think I already mentioned it. There are 18 in the free version. There are 13 different types. You can make, thousands of games, but there are only 34 different types of games in the pro and 18 types of games in the free version. They also have a fabulous way for you to easily organize your folders. This is what mine looks like. When you first go on, you won't have any folders or saved games. You will just have create an activity. And I've organized them. Mostly I just use phonics, but I put a few other things like math and science and social studies just to give you the idea that you can have folders for anything and games for anything. I just happen to focus on phonics and ELA. So those would be my examples, but you can do whatever works for you. As I mentioned, there's an amazing community library of thousands and thousands of activities. It's really a game changer and a time saver. Little pun there intended. So if you're on the community tab, you search by keyword. If you're teaching the kids about volcanoes, you can search that and find activities that people have already created. Then you can use it as it is. If it's a perfect activity that you love, just use it. And I'll show you how to save it to your library, or you can edit it. It'll automatically make a copy, and then you can change either the content or even the type of game. To change the content, what I mean by that is if they are using maybe 7 or 8 labels on the parts of a volcano using some vocab, maybe there's 1 or 2 words you haven't introduced, you can go in and delete those. Or if they didn't mention something you want to mention, you can go in and add that with just 1 or 2 clicks of a button. You can also change the type of game. So if they have a labeling game, you can create a quiz or a matching game, things like that. And that will be clear once I take you over to the site and you see, but the main point there is it's a huge time saver for teachers. All right, we're going to jump in on over to WORDWALL.net. Okay, as I mentioned, you will not have these folders. These are my folders. This is my activity library, because first thing you're going to do is sign up and sign in so you have a connection to just your account. When I first signed in, I only had this blue button, create an activity, right here. So the first thing you're going to do is create an activity. But the first thing I want to show you before I show you that is some of the games. You can see that there's a huge variety, and this is just a small portion. Whack-a-mole, a spinning game, open the box type of game, an airplane cloud type game, matching or dragging games. There's so much. This is a conveyor belt. You can have true, false here, anything, but sky is the limit. Just wanted to get you a little bit familiar with how different the games can all look. So the first thing we're going to do is create an activity. So I'm clicking on create activity. And now I have 34 templates because I have the pro version, but you would have 18 here if you were just trying it out for free. The first activity I'll make with you today is called Open the Box. This is what it looks like. You're going to get a template when you open up the activity. You're going to title it. So I'm going to call this Short Vowels. And I'm making things that I'm interested in, but you could name that anything that you're interested in. Addition facts, whatever you want. And I'm going to have boxes with questions. So the first question I'm going to ask is, what is it? So I'm going to click on this picture. And right here, I'm just going to use their images. I'll say cat. You can type in anything you want and hit enter. And I'll just choose this one. Now I have a cat, and what is it? I'm going to write so I can see if students could read these simple CVC words. You might think this is super easy if you don't teach young children or struggling readers, but if you do, you know what I mean. This is necessary to see if they know the beginning sound or the vowel sound. You can make as many choices as you want. For somebody that's just starting off, you might even only want 2 choices so they can quickly focus on the different elements. Or somebody who's more advanced as the time goes on, you can come back in and edit this and even make more choices. So the important thing to know is this is the correct answer, so you want to make sure you check the green check mark. Now, every game is different, but this one says you have to have a minimum of 2 questions or 2 boxes and a maximum of 100. We're just going to do 3 just so that you can feel comfortable doing this. So once again, I'm going to say, what is it? And this time I'm going to put a pen. I'm going to search it. Now, I'm using their search here. If you have a special picture of a pen that's maybe related to some kind of activity that the kids are already familiar with, like I have some foundations pictures saved, you can use that. But I think this is just fine for now. Double click it. That's a pen. What is it? So I'm going to write pin because I'm looking to see if they're familiar with the vowel sounds. And then I might write a B because I know sometimes kids get B's and P's confused. And I'm going to make sure I check the correct box. Add one more item. And this time I'm going to change the question a little bit, but it's still going to have the focus of short vowels. I'm going to say, what vowel sound? And I'm going to do a picture of a dog. Now, if I had a picture of my dog saved, I could just upload my dog and the kids would recognize my dog if they already knew my dog. So you can personalize it a little bit like that. I'm going to click on this dog and then I'm going to go all of the vowels. But you could just, if you have a student that's really struggling between differentiating 2 different vowel sounds, you will just maybe pick those and maybe make it more and more difficult as the year goes on by coming back in here and editing it and adding some more choices. So you can see it's very flexible. So check the correct box. That's it. I have entered a title. I chose I want boxes with questions. I put my questions, my answers, and I made sure I checked the right answer. Hit done, and you have just created an interactive online game as if you're some kind of fabulous computer programmer or something. But it's that simple. Here's the game. It says tap 1. Okay, the question is, what's the vowel sound? I'm over here, I'm a student. I checked it and it's giving me the feedback that I got it right. I'm going to get the next one wrong just to show you what happens. What is it? I'm getting fooled right here and I'm saying cup. No, it's not cup. So it gives them that feedback, but as long as the timer's going, they're going to be able to go back and try again. What is it? Pen, correct? Now watch, it's going to give me another chance. So it's really a great tool. Here we go. That's it. So that is a quick game of Open the Box. One of 34 games, don't forget. Now the kids can add their name to the leaderboard. I'm not going to do that right now, but I would just type, well, I could. Mrs. P, hit enter, and then you'll see that I'm the only one that's played this game, and it took me 35 seconds. So I'm going to go back. Now that was cool enough, right? However, this website also allows you to completely change the game. So let's say week 1, you have, 10, 20 questions on here, and the kids really didn't get it yet. Well, next week you can come in and change it to, let's say this one. It'll be a completely different look. But one click, you've made a new game so that the kids can continue to practice, but it doesn't seem like that same old game. It's the same content, but it looks a little bit different. So there you go. I'm going to go back, start again, and show you that you can do playing cards. So it looks like this. So what is it? There we go. You can pick the one that works for you, or you can make one of each and save them so that you can go back and reteach, or the kids can have additional practice. So that is just a great tool. So far we found out how we can create an activity and then how we can choose a new theme. Next one I'm going to show you, I'm going to go back to my activities and I'm going to pick one that I've already made. Some of these activities you can create as an assignment, and others you will just be using as a teaching tool. So if you want to have an assignment where you're going to be able to get results and see what happened when people played this game, how many people played it, how were their scores, how quickly did they do it, which answers did they get wrong, you will have that in my results, and this is for assignments. So I'll take an assignment here as an example. Here's an assignment. It's a quiz. I know all my quizzes are assignments, so I'm just going to take this one to show you. So when I want to assign this and make sure that students have easy access to it, I click the share button, hit set an assignment. I am going to include the leaderboard because I know from the research that that's going to be encouraging them to do even more. Now, I can either copy the link, and then I can add that to maybe your Seesaw, something like that. You can email it if you have that ability for your students, or you can just embed it into your Google Classroom. It's as easy as this. You just click one little button, and then you can, if you have multiple classrooms, you would have to select which classroom. Let's say I'm going to do this one. Select what action. I'm going to create an assignment, and I'm going to go. Here it is. I'm already on the assignment page. It already filled in the title for me, and it already has a link to the game. I'm just going to put the instructions. Open the game below. Type your name. Play. That's simple. So that's it. I'm going to assign that. And it will be in I can view it. It will be right here in my Google Classroom. Go to my classwork, and there it will be at the top. And I can just drag that down into my week 4 assignments. And there it will be ready for the kids to access. So that's a really nice, easy, quick way to share your documents with your game, with your students. Like I said, you can use the link to share to Seesaw or any other way that you like to. There's also an embed code if you have a website. The other thing I want to tell you is there are these games and activities, but there are also things that you can use as a teaching tool. So if you're on Zoom or if you are on the smartboard in the classroom and you want to do your daily 5, let's say you do a sound drill. Let's say you teach Wilson or you teach foundations and you have a sound drill. Instead of just holding up the cards, you can have them on the smartboard or on your Zoom. You can deal them and just have them say the sounds. This is a sound drill. Now you can go in and edit this and change it to addition facts. You can also make sure you get their attention by saying, ooh, we're going to shuffle back again. Things like that. You can imagine when you're on Zoom, rather than just flashing up boring cards, it's more exciting to have it be like this space game. However, you can change it. So this is just a blue tone. There's a little tone every time, if you find that more appealing, or a jungle theme. So you can imagine anything that you drill right here. Very, very quickly and easily change spooky. Let's say you want to do this in October. You can imagine that this will keep the kids very engaged because they'll never know what is coming up. Okay, so let me start again. And also, I wanted to show you that you can just edit the content. So if I want to edit the content and I want to make this a math game, I can go in, retitle, addition facts to 3, whatever. And instead of this saying A, it says, the fact. And then you just flash them through. That's just one idea. Another thing that you can think about using as a teaching tool is if we go back into my activities and we go into this foundations routines, you can see that I created a game. I just went up to create and I went to a spinning game and I created this game. So all I did in the template, I named it Sound Drill Choices, and then I put the names of the different themes that I just showed you. So you can see here it says space, jungle, game show, blue tone, basic. So every day, instead of just pulling out the cards and going through the quick drill, you can say, okay, guys, let's find out what kind of game we're going to play with our sound drill. So today it's going to be jungle, and everybody will be so happy. I'm thinking about lower kids, lower elementary. You can just resume and all the choices will always be there. That means you might get jungle 2 or 3 days in a row, or you can just click eliminate jungle. And then the next time you can spin it. You can spin it like this too. The choice will come up, blue tone. That's what you do for the day. Spin and do. So once again, I can eliminate it. Now you can imagine this is a great way to do, I forget what you call it, the fair can. So you can have all your students' names on there. You would just go in and edit the content. And you would have fair can, and you could put all your students' names. And then as you pick them, you can eliminate them. There are endless possibilities. I'm just trying to highlight a few. So far, what we've gone over is how to create an activity, that there are 18 or 34, the easy way to fill out the template for the content, and then how you share the games to Google Classroom or Seesaw or email, whatever works for you. We also have seen how we can use these things during teaching time, not just for assignments. Other thing I want to point out to you is this community, and this is absolutely fantastic. So don't feel like you have to reinvent the wheel. If you are teaching foundations or addition, let's say, you can search it here in the community. And here is somebody, actually they just made a quick drill just like we just did and talked about. Here it is. If I say to myself, I like this one, then what I'll do is I'm going to say, I want to be able to find this in my activities. So all I do is bookmark it and like it. And now when I go back to my activities, here it is. It's in my activities. I don't have to go back to the community anymore. it's mine now. So once again, for the community, you can search science, let's say. I'm just trying to break out of my reading specialist hat right now and give you some other options. So if you are teaching the kids the parts of a volcano, please always check this site first because somebody might have already created the game. Now, if when you get to the game and you see it like, oh, you know what, I don't teach the magma chamber, you would just go in and edit the content and just take that one out. I'll show you in a second, but first I'll show you how easy it is to play the game. You just drag, and I don't know if that's lava or that's lava. So anyway, you get the game, and then the answers are checked after. Oh, I got that one wrong, so this must be lava, or we'll see. You get what I'm saying? And so right there, I didn't do very well because the timer ran out. I was talking to you guys, but you get the idea. If I wanted to edit the content, I would go here. Now, imagine anything you want labeled. If you're learning about the parts of a plant, the parts of an insect, the water cycle, anything, all you have to do is, if you put the number 1 in here, you're going to drag the number 1 over to the answer, okay? So let's say I'm only teaching a few of these things. I'm not teaching 7 different labels. I am teaching this one, not this one, yes, no, yes, yes, yes. I only want these things. So guess what? I'm going to click done. And now when we see the game that somebody else made, they took the time to get that photo inserted. They already had all the pins in place. And now this is a little bit simplified. This is also another way to differentiate the work. You could have, group A's volcano labeling and group B when maybe these kids have a IEP and they only need the most important basic information. So this is a great way to use the community, and you can see that I also saved this because I liked it and I bookmarked it. Now I can drag it up to my science folder. So in order to organize your materials, all you have to do is create a folder, and it will pop up right here, and then you can drag and drop. So I have this addition one that we just did together. Oops, my computer was stuck there. And where is it? Addition, right here. I'm going to click that in there. So you can, build up a few of them down here, and then when you have a moment, just organize them. So in the morning, when you're ready to use your foundations routines, you just open this, you have both things that you need, and you're ready. The final thing that I do want to show you is you can, beyond changing the content, like we've shown you a couple times, you can actually switch the template and have a completely new game. We've talked about changing the template and the content, but watch this. Just a quick overview. This is what whack-a-mole looks like. To give you a practice one, hit the moles that are correct, don't hit. So this is the bonus letter. And then the kids are going to go on if they have a timer and stars and they see what they can do. So I won't do that because I want to just show you that right over here, okay, we had whack-a-mole, but now I want to make it into a brain pop. A balloon pop, sorry. Now, I don't want to edit the content. I want the same bonus letter words that I've already put in. And so now I'm going to share this. It prompts me, do I want to edit this as whack-a-mole, or do I want to duplicate this game and edit as balloon pop? You want to duplicate because you want to keep your whack-a-mole game, but you want to have your balloon pop game too. So I could decide to edit it if I want to. I could decide, oh, I only want, 15 on this game, and then done. I didn't have to do that, but I'm just showing you. So I'm going to keep the name of this as 1.4 bonus letters, but instead of copy of, as soon as this finishes loading, I'm going to call it balloon pop. And done. So now when I go to my activities, I not only have my whack-a-mole game, I also have my balloon pop game. Where is it? Oh, it's probably in the folder because I was in the folder when I created it. Yes. So that's cool. Here it is, Balloon Pop bonus letter. So I still have my bonus letter whack-a-mole game, and I have a new game. So that is really all we need to talk about there. The next thing to mention, there is a free version. As I said, you have 18 different types of games you can create, but you can only make 5 activities. A little workaround, you can go in and edit the activities so you can have more than 5 technically, but if you really think you're going to use this and change up the way that you have your kids practice different skills or even take assessments in the quiz modes and things like that, you can have for $6 a month 18 different activities, interactive games, and unlimited activities. Pro version, $9.34. Because a nice workaround is, even if you only paid for this for 1 month, there's no like, I have to be in this for a year. 1 month, $6. In that month, you can decide, I'm going to create all the activities I need. Guess what? When you cancel your membership, you get to keep your page with all the activities that you made. So you really could make everything you need for only $6, which I like to think of as just like getting a cup of coffee, or maybe just buying one activity on the Teachers Pay Teachers, but I've completely gamified my entire curriculum. One last thing is to just let you know, these are the games that you can create activities with. So just so you know, you can't go in and make a open the box activity and turn it into an assignment. You can still have the kids do it. It's just not going to give you the results on the results page. So hopefully this has gotten you all the information that you need in order to use WORDWALL.net, an amazing resource that really is just going to save you so much time and help the kids to really have fun while they're learning in an interactive way. Thank you. Bye-bye.